Hi everyone, let's try that again. All right. Great to see you guys starting to join. Welcome to our EF Academy Alumni Talks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Clara, I'm the Alumni Coordinator at EF Academy. And one of the great things about working with EF Academy alumni is that I get to reconnect with our former students who are now all over the world pursuing really diverse and exciting paths. And they get to share insights from their student days with you, but also tell you what they've been up to since graduation. So I'm really excited about today's guest, who actually has a small surprise for us after our interview. So be sure to stay tuned in to the end so you don't miss that. And okay, without further ado, I'm going to invite our guest to join us. Should be joining us shortly. Hello, Tim.
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much.
Great. Good
Yeah.
afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from Vietnam, right?
Yes, that's absolutely sporting.
Super. Great. Well, I'm really excited about our chat today.
Mm.
As you know, our followers have sent in some questions throughout the week that they want to ask you specifically. But before we dive into those, maybe Tim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tim. My full name is Tim Nguyen, and I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Currently, I'm reading music at the University of York in Northern England.
Great. And you studied at Oxford, EF Academy Oxford, right?
Yes, I studied also at EF Academy Oxford from 2018 to 2020.
Great. Super. So I guess let's start at the very beginning. Tim, what made you choose to study at EF Academy Oxford?
I need to tell you a little bit about my backstory because basically, at the beginning, I have already known EF before I arrived at Oxford. That basically means that I have been to EF summer camps in, let's say, Santa Barbara, Cambridge, and New York from
Wow.
2015 in 3 years consecutively. And what I reckon is that I love Cambridge so much that I want to come back there and I want to study in Cambridge. But EF Academy hasn't got a campus in Cambridge. But fortunately, they've got a campus in a sibling city of Cambridge, that is Oxford, and it actually shares so many similarities that maybe you think that, oh, they're so similar. And they're both one of the most prestigious university in the world. And also they are also famous for their ancient streets and for their academic perspective. So I decided to learn EF Academy Oxford because I wanted to find the vibe back when I was in Cambridge.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think there is clearly a reason why people often refer to Oxbridge, right? Bringing the two cities
Yeah,
and universities together because
that,
there's so many similarities.
yeah.
Great. So you had that summer study abroad experience even before you joined EF Academy. That's fantastic. Do you remember going back to your student days, Tim? What was your day to day like at EF Academy, and maybe like the weeks compared to the weekends?
Okay, that's a great question. So my weekdays begin with me waking up about let's say it's quite different between me being a first year student and me being a second year student, because in the first year I woke up very early. I woke up about 7 a.m. in the morning, and then I had a phone call to my parents back in Vietnam, because I had a very close contact to them, so I had to sort of like call them on a daily basis. So I called them for like about 15 minutes, and then I brushed my teeth, I put my clothes, I changed my clothes, and then I went to the cafeteria to have breakfast. But in the second year, everything changed because I yeah, everything changed because you know, I get used to the life over there, and I was like, yeah, I don't need breakfast anymore. Breakfast was like useless, so I decided to sleep until 8:30, and I decided to call my parents later on. So yeah, that's the thing. But still, classes begin at 9 a.m. in the morning, which is pretty late comparing to Vietnam, because we have classes here at 7:30, which is quite
Oh,
early.
wow.
Yeah, and then after periods of learning, you are going to have lunch at 12 to 12:10. So you're going to have lunch, and the most special thing about EF Academy Oxford is that the cafeteria is divided into three different parts with three different types of food. You've got the grill in the courtyard, so that it can be served. Let me see, burgers and hot dogs can be served. But you've got also the salad bar where you can find every kind of salad. If you want, if you are a veggie or if you want to eat healthy, then you go to salad bar. And we have got the main dish at the center as well. And each day, it's new food is going to be served, and you know, the food, the variety of food is quite special as well. That is to be mentioned. We've got Italian food, we've got Vietnamese food, Japanese food, Chinese food, American food, everything you can find on Earth. It will be available and it will be changed on a daily basis, so that people won't be feeling that, oh, the food I've eaten yesterday, I don't want to eat it anymore. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be changed on a daily basis. And then we've got the afternoon classes to about 4:30, and then you're going to have clubs. And I say that you should be joining the clubs because they are very nice. It's where you get to know other people, get to know especially to people who has got a special fondness, like a special penchant to you. We've got history club, we've got music club, we've got painting club, we've got and all the sports club like let's see, football club, badminton club, and yeah, that's all the thing about. And then afterwards, after having dinner, we went back to our campus and we just chill out. For my circumstance, I went to the music room and played some piano, and then yeah, and I went back to my room. But other students, if you don't play music, you can go to the student lounge. You can talk to your friends. You can play ping pong there. You can play foosball, and you can also play pool over there, or you can go cooking. There are a variety of activities to be done. And then you go back to your room and you start studying a bit. Well, the good thing about studying in EF Academy Oxford is that you've got so many places where you can actually get yourself down and study. For instance, you can go to the library and go fishbowl. Both of them are in Cotuit Hall, or you can go to Brooks University, which is about 500 meters away from the campus. Yeah, it's got a variety of books over there, which can be used to support, to refer to for your essays, for instance, or dissertations. That's a good thing. Or you can just study in your room if you want some private privacy. And then at about 10 or 11, you go to sleep, and then the routine begins on the next day. However, this is quite different in the weekend because the cafeteria serves breakfast much later that is going to be serving on the weekdays. Therefore, I woke up pretty late. So it's like it was like about 10:30 that I woke up. I went to the cafeteria to have some food, and I went straight to the city centre to go to my favorite museum, which was the Bait Music Collection. It boasts numerous amounts, a fair amount of classical musical instruments dating back from 16th, 17th centuries to 20th centuries, and it is collected and it's kept intact very carefully. And just as you know, Oxford has got so many museums that it could be enjoyable in the weekend.
That's great that you were able to make the most of that as a student, even before heading to university.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm really glad that you talked so much about the food, because that's one of the most common
Yeah.
questions student has before they join is, what am I going to eat? So it's quite mixed.
Yeah.
Jen, so you talked about the music room. There is also the student lounge. What are the facilities like at EF Academy Oxford that you remember?
Okay, talking about EF Academy Oxford, the first thing you need to do is you need to put your luggage down and you need to a place to sleep, apparently. So we've got three residential areas. The first one being Cotuit Hall, the second one being Brewer, and it's divided to Brewer North and Brewer South, which is for male students, and also Marcus Lower Building, which is for female students. The second thing you talk about is that you need to eat. So we talked through the cafeteria already, so I will not mention about the cafeteria anymore. The third thing you may be asking about the classes. So we need to go to the classes, right? The classes are built modernly. Inside, there are some sort of like state-of-the-art technology in order to support you with your study. And the classroom is just about, maximally about 10 to 12 students maximally, and the smallest class only has got about 4 to 5 students. So it can be ensured that you'll be able to concentrate on your study, and you'll be supported by the teacher himself or herself. And then let's see, we've got the laundry room where you can put the laundry in there. We've got the art room where you can go and you can draw anything you like in there. Of course, the art room's got some it works. It is opened. It's got a time, like a time limitation, so you need to register before you can go there and draw. Also, you've got a music room, like I've mentioned, and the music room's got some instruments. For instance, the piano or the guitar bass, the bass guitar, sorry, the bass guitar and the piano for you to be playing. The student lounge, and also let me see. And also we've got the park, like we've got the sort of like a front yard, which is like a garden, because there are so many trees are being planted, and you feel like, wow, this is it generates such a conducive atmosphere for you to be learning. So yeah, it's good and green, which is the greatest about Academy Oxford.
Yeah, outdoor spaces is really nice around Oxford, and the campus changes a little bit every year. We are always making small improvements. So this year, I know that a lot of effort was put into the outdoor spaces, creating a pizza oven outside, and some students even have started a project to build an outdoor gym. So yeah, keeps growing, keeps getting better.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. Sorry, by the way, my stand broke, so I'm kind of holding my phone at the moment. So let's talk a little bit about academics. Tim, you did the IB Diploma, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What made you choose the IB? Did you ever consider doing A levels as an option?
Well, I did consider doing A level in the first time, but there were two particular reasons why I chose the IB. Um, Firstly, the IB encompasses a large range of subjects to be chosen. For instance, if you are interested in something, and then later on you decide, no, I'm not interested in this thing anymore. You may be having an opportunity to change in to have your career change a little bit, but it won't be affecting your results. The second thing why I chose IB is that it was more internationally recognized. You know, if you want to stay in England only, or in the UK in general, for instance, if you want to study in Scotland, if you want to study in Wales or Northern Ireland, then A level is a good choice. But if you want to pursue your career in a different country other than Great Britain the United Kingdom, for instance, if you want to pursue a career in the United States or in Canada, then you shall choose the IB Diploma program, because it's just more internationally recognized. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there are different advantages to each, and you know.
there are pros and cons each of
Hmm.
the program. Yeah, yeah, it
And
doesn't really matter.
yeah, I think at least the admissions consultants and pathway managers try to make sure that, we ask students the right questions before they start, to make sure they get the best
That's,
matched program.
yeah, that's what you will be advised very carefully. You know,
Hmm.
if you have got your path chosen deliberately on the first time, then you should A level. But if you're not like, if you're not sure, like, oh, I want to do history, but I don't know, I want to do business as well. So I don't know. So if you choose the IB, then they're going to be providing both of the choices for you, so that you won't be befuddled.
And what was it like studying the IB diploma with so many international students, both like living with them on campus, but also in the classroom?
Well, it creates such a diverse environment for us to be able to communicate to each other. Especially my English proficiency has been improved over the course of time, because I had to communicate with my international friends in English, and each of them has got an identity itself. And I don't feel too shy talking to them, because we know that we are international students. Yeah, we get integrated into the society pretty well. And also, we get to know each other's culture as well. Even though I need to mention that there are some cultural clashes sometimes, but it doesn't affect that your friendship is beyond all, and in international what internationalism is.
It's important to, I think, learn about that. The younger you are, the easier then it becomes to understand different cultures, different perspectives, and how to collaborate, right, across those cultural differences.
Mm.
I think this question actually came in from another alum. Do you miss your EF Academy friends a lot?
Um, I do miss when the days I choked my friend, and then he kept chasing me around the campus, and like I was like, yeah, I do remember that so much. And so I text them as well. And also, when I post my story on Instagram, they also reply to the stories. So I feel like we still have a connection, even though we have been staying far from each other for quite a long time, which is like about 1 year, a year already. So I do miss them.
Hopefully we'll all be able to start traveling more regularly soon, so you can catch up in different parts of the world with them. So thinking back at your time at EF Academy, I know we're running a little out of time, but would you do anything differently? Is there anything that looking back now you wish you'd done more of or less of?
Um, if there is anything I could do differently, I would be I would be, I would hang out with my friends more because on the first, um, I have to admit myself, an introvert person, so I don't communicate much with other people. But on the first year, I kept staying in my room, and didn't do anything like deliberately. Whilst my friends were hanging out and they were doing a lot of fun stuff, I just sit around and I read books or I play video games. So it's basically um, it's basically quite sad because when the photos came up, my friends were all there and I was not in the photo and I felt like a little bit separated. But yeah, but in the second year, I decided to hang out with my friends. Actually, the best decision of
Mhm.
my
It's
life.
hard. I mean, 2 years is how long you do the IB or A levels, and between keeping up with the academic work, the two most important years of high school, but also getting accustomed to living in a new country, as well as making friends. Like it's definitely a learning curve that I think a lot of students deal with when they join, is learning how to balance all of those activities so you make enough time for friends, but keep up with your schoolwork and enjoy living in Oxford. So yeah, I know a lot of students have that experience, but in the end, they always find the right balance. I'm glad you did too. Um, let's see. So you are now studying music, right? With the University of York. Where did your interest in music begin?
Well, it's just story again. Like all the Asian families, like some many Asian families, I was forced to go to the music and yeah, I didn't want it at all. I always find a good reason to Skype, or for instance, no, mom, today it's rainy, I don't want to go to classes. Or for instance, today I'm sick, I don't want to go to classes. But over the course of time, especially when I went to grade six, um, I met a friend who's now my very close friend, and he has like by the time I had been learning the piano for 7 years, but he was only learning about for 2 years or 3 years. But he played so well and he played better than me. So I was asking myself, I was wondering myself like, um, for a bloke that only learns the piano for about like 2 or 3 years, how could he be able to play better than me? So I decided to put my motivation. I decided to put my motivation and my passion for the piano in there, so that I can be. Hopefully, one day I could be better than him. So I am into music by a very peculiar reason.
Some friendly competition to help you out by the sounds of it.
He's still he's my close friend. He was my close.
Good, I'm glad. And looking more towards the future, what do you have any big goals? Do you see yourself continuing to live in the UK, or anything you'd like to accomplish in the next few years?
Um, um, my goal in the future would be become an specialized orchestrated composer, and hopefully I will be working for a famous, a reputational animated corporation, for instance, Disney, for instance. Yeah, and about living in the UK, I'm not thinking too much about it because I think my life in Vietnam it is going quite pretty well. But as I said, there are upsides and downsides to living in both countries. So I may need to take it into consideration as much as possible in order to decide to yeah, where I'm going to stay in Vietnam or I'm going to the UK to live. But I love both countries. Yeah, and just to just to sort you out, the British nationals so far I've met, they are very nice. So you don't need to be worried too much about yeah, they are living on their land and we are outlanders. We came there and like they're going to be discriminatory towards us. No, they're not. They're the British nationals I've met so far, they were really nice. They were really nice. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah. I lived in the UK for quite a long time too, and also didn't really feel like an outsider.
Yeah,
But
I feel like an outsider at all. Yeah. Mhm.
great. I will definitely be keeping my eye out in future Disney credits for your name at some point. That's a fantastic dream. Very quick question before we wrap up. If you had to say like one main lesson or the biggest thing that you learned from having studied abroad at EF Academy, what would that be?
Um, One of the largest lessons I've learned is that I've grown to mature. I've learned how to be matured. Basically, when I was back in Vietnam, my I lived I'm living with my beside my parents. I'm living with my grand auntie as well, and she is a very typical I don't know, she's a very typical house worker, because when I told her I want to wash the dishes, and she was like, no, let me wash for you. I want to do my laundry. No, let me do the laundry for you. So she didn't let me do anything. But when I arrived to Britain, when I arrived at Oxford, it was something quite different, because I had to do everything by myself. I had to do the laundry. I had to wash the dishes. Ate, if I bought something back home and I ate myself, I had to wash it myself. I had to learn how to survive in the society, even though it's quite an open-minded society. You still need to learn how to survive. For instance, you need to learn how to buy the bus tickets. You need to learn how the bus routes work, or you need to learn how to be able to to be communicating effectively with the locals, because um, many of you said that, oh, IELTS is a very important certification, and if we've got the IELTS, and we don't need to worry anything about when we arrive at Great Britain. No, but it's not the case, because some of them told me that when they heard some of the peculiar accents, especially in the northern part of England, they start they start becoming obfuscated, and they couldn't understand a word. So the thing is that you need to have a communicative skill in order, and you need to learn how to be getting acculturated into the local society in order to be able to live well.
It is a different thing to learn a language on paper than to actually use it, isn't it?
Yeah,
And yeah, I think the independent skills that you mentioned, learning how to do things for yourself, I imagine it might have been a big surprise when you then traveled home and your family saw this change in you.
yeah,
Um,
that to changes.
Great. Well, thank you so much. That was all of the questions that were sent in. Tim, I know you have a small surprise. Well, I shouldn't call it small. You have a surprise for us. You're going to be playing a piece for us.
Yes, that's absolutely spot on. So,
Fantastic. Tell us about the piece.
Today I'm going to be playing for you a piece called Kung Fu Piano. It is taken from the theme of Kung Fu Panda, but generally it is adaptive. It has been adapted. It has been covered by two artists. Those are the piano guys, and they are very popular on YouTube, and they always cover all the songs on their own way. So I'm very excited to see how they cover the pieces. So I'm going to be covering that piece, but only on the piano, because we haven't got the cello over here.
You should have let me know. I used to play the cello in high school, so we could have had a little
Oh,
duet. But next time, I'll let you take the spotlight today. Great.
uh,
Well, yes, take it away, Tim.
yeah, okay. Um, so right, can you hear me well?
All clear.
Oh, right. Let's see. Right.
Oh, I don't know if this is.
I'm sorry. I think the screen is turned out. I'm going to play it again.
No worries. It froze for a second, but you're back now.
I think somehow the screen is turned off. So I'm going to play it again.
Alrighty.
Okay. Sorry.
Bravo, Tim. Amazing. I would clap, but I'm holding my phone. That was fantastic. Wow. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Definitely,
Thank you very much. To
definitely
have,
a first in our alumni talks to have an interview plus a musical performance. That was wonderful.
thank you. Thank you very
Um,
much.
Right. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. But thank you, Tim, so much. Thank you, everyone who's joined, everyone who sent in questions. If there are any other questions that you have, either for Tim or for other alumni, you can always message EF Academy Life. or also get in touch with your local admissions office to find out more about EF Academy. Admissions are open for 2022, so yeah, get in touch. But again, thank you so much, Tim. It's really great to catch up.
Thank you. Thank you very
I
much.
hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. Best of luck continuing your university studies, and I hope we get to catch up again sometime soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all of you who've been watching my stream. So I must say goodbye and have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day, Tim. Happy weekend.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.